Hey, I'm Max, and today I'm going to play some more Legends of the Pirates Online. I had just started this character yesterday when I filmed the initial beginning, and right after I finished that video, I kept playing and got all the way up to level 10. And don't remember what quest I'm on, but one of the things I wanted to do today was to do some more ship combat. That's it's a pretty fun mechanic. And oh, I'm also caught off guard by all the rain. I don't remember there being rain when I played, but I think I deemed the last time that I played this game that I played earlier in the lifespan of the game. And so, this EITC Viper looks like it's caught up on the shore, and we're going to take care of business. One of the biggest bummers I would always say about the original game was needing to be in a crew to be able to be a gunner on a ship. Like, as you just saw, as I ran from the steering wheel to that, trying to be a one-man crew because that's what I'm doing, and now I'm repairing. But I guess that's why there's fun that there's mini games where you can fire cannons from land. But if you don't have friends, you can't. You kind of have to make sure that you're steering the ship as well. So, but overall, it's a pretty fun experience. Today, the sun was out. It was a little warmer. In the winter time, we're hitting really cold wind chills over the weekend, and it was just a disaster. That I'm thankful that I weathered the storm. So we're just gonna take it easy. Actually, I had a little bit of time after work. I ran by the public library, and I ended up grabbing a book that I know is about a pirate. I don't even remember the title, and it's not by me. Yeah, my work bag's not by me. I'm sorry, I just turned away. I was looking for the my work bag, and I remembered the last few videos I recorded, I was using my gaming headset, and this time around I'm using a blue snowball, and it doesn't exactly travel with me, like with my mouth as I'm looking around. And but I got some fantasy book about a pirate, or maybe it's about a crew, or I'm not 100% certain, but I'm gonna try and read it. Though reading is something that I've not been able to do so much as an adult, and I've tried. It's something that I'm kind of having to fight to reclaim. See, I had a car accident when I was finishing up high school, and a few concussions, including hitting my head in the car accident, where they deemed I didn't have a concussion. But anyways, I noticed it was really hard for me to read after that. In fact, I couldn't get through a paragraph and remember what I had read, so I had to I got really frustrated, and I went away from being a bookworm to not reading at all. And well, as time went on and my mind is healed, thankfully, I found that I do have the attention span for it. I think I'm capable of the attention span for it, because looking at all the time spent with social media's short form content, I'm fighting. I'm still fighting, trying to get my attention span back to what I feel like it could be. But nothing changes if we don't make an effort. And I think I probably would have been better off right here just switching to chain shot. But one of the things I've realized about this game is I don't think I can actually board a ship unless it has a flag above its name. And that's typically either the war ships, or upper 20s, much better than what the one I'm fighting, these light sloops. And I know this light frigate is much bigger than the light sloop, but still a light version of the frigate. You know what? It's something that I remembered one story that I remembered from that I didn't cover my first time playing this game, was actually when this game first launched. Well, so when it first launched, the only ship you could get if you didn't pay for unlimited access was light sloop. So you have one cannon on each side. Even if you had two friends, if you had a crew of 3 to play, only one could, like, one would be manning the broadsides and one would be manning the cannon if you're firing off to starboard or port side, and the other one was kind of just twiddling their thumbs. And I remember being a little upset with that. And then also, I think you can only pick up 3 cargo anytime you went out. So it was a lot of, if you wanted to get the cargo to make the gold, it was a lot of going into port, going out of port, going into port, going out of port. And I remember writing a letter. No, not a physical letter. I mean, I remember writing either an email or filling out a questionnaire on their website on piratesonline.com. And basically I was pleading, please let basic access players have more than just the light sloop. And I don't remember how much time it was later on, but they actually had opened that up. I think you could get the light galleon and the light frigate. And I noticed when I was actually playing today that I noticed that there were brigs, which as a type of ship, and I'm pretty sure that wasn't in the initial launch actually. And if it was, I think there might have been some NPC ships, but I don't think there were player-owned ships like that. a little note to self that I accidentally paused, and that was weird for me trying to transition back in, but I noticed that the crackle is still there, so I gotta do some deeper digging and figure out exactly why that is the case. But so narrating the videos so far has proven to be a lot of fun, because I find as I work, if I'm working from home, which I only get to do 1 day a week, or I am doing whatever, if I gotta do something, I find that old-fashioned, narration, commentary on whatever, on like lightly edited videos on gameplay, that's like one of the go-to forms of content. And honestly, that's probably what streaming is mostly for people who lurk. And I say that as somebody who used to do that. That I think that it confirms in my heart why I enjoy making this form of content. So I'm gonna continue doing this, but also I'll just shamelessly admit too that the running playlist that I got going for all of these gaming narration videos, I actually I just plug my phone in and set my phone. I got a little like mount at my desk, and I just and I have my headphones on, and it's just something that if I'm just need to plug in or in focus, that I just have that going on in the background, and I'm listening more than talking. But I really think that that's actually going to help me with some of my goals. See, I studied media production in college, and I had worked at some radio stations, but I just, when it comes to speaking, and I mean speaking with confidence, whether it's on video or on, radio or podcast, or public speaking for that matter, this is something that I want to be intentional about spending more time with, because I just I really suffered from a lack of confidence as a kid, like, and even to my younger adulthood years, and it's something I still fight with, and I think that's one of the reasons why I'm making these videos longer, also because I really enjoy that. And one of the things that I'm making the mental note to myself is that I want to get okay with silence. So that's something that I'm working on. Trying not to fill, and if I'm filling, which I feel like I'm kind of doing right now, that I'm doing it. I feel like that's a skill or an ability to develop. But yeah. One of the frustrations I actually have about this game, the combat, is I feel like, I mean, obviously right now I'm kiting. I'm running around with the voodoo and just trying to stay out of reach from them. But you'll see in different like combat that it's like almost determined that they hit you, that they're going to hit you before the animation actually happens. And sometimes based on the animation, you're like, come on, I was nowhere near him. One, it can take you off guard, and I actually was knocked out before I filmed this at one point because I was waiting to use a tonic that would give me full health, but I was waiting till I was a little bit lower, and granted it was a tougher enemy, but it took me down. It hit me when I didn't expect it because there was a lot more distance between us. That might have been in the Thieves' Den. I'm not 100% sure. Running okay, so this is obviously a Disney game, but running on these hills and just the way it's like instance, like, seeing the tree lines, and it's very much like closed off, but at the same time made to feel so much bigger. What this place reminds me of right now is I never played through them all the way. Actually, I was only playing the first one of Kingdom Hearts. I think when I was in the Tarzan portion in the jungle, that I don't know if it's just the way it's instance or what, or maybe it's just because it's Disney, that it feels like Disney, that I'm relating it to other Disney IPs. I don't know. But I remember when I would run around in the past, and I feel like I always at least see a couple of people. In fact, so actually, weird thing real quick. When there used to be so many more servers, I feel like it was hard to meet up for middle schooler, because that's what I was playing this game as originally. It was hard for me to meet up on a server with my friends when I was trying to get them to play, but I already know that they didn't really stick with it. But trying to determine what server to join on, and it felt like all the servers didn't sound usual, and the ones that were easiest to pronounce were actually like would be so full that sometimes they actually would be full, and you couldn't do that. But I don't remember these dialogue boxes, but I like it. I see that they improved upon it a lot, and if you would have asked me if mini games would have made sense, would have made sense. I'm sorry, I was just reclining suddenly, trying to get comfortable. Just hanging out, and I'm not used to having the microphone on my desk, so at risk of this video being quiet, we're just trying it out. That's funny because a lot of these people like Doc Rog. I don't, wouldn't remember the name, wouldn't be able to tell you the name, but it's like as soon as I see it, I remember this quest. It really is just raining the entire time. I wasn't that observant whether or not that was a event or whatever. So, and actually, the music, it doesn't sound like it's this one, but the music that was first playing when I came into this tavern, I remember that. And the thing is I don't think you can get this soundtrack anywhere. I mean, I know that I think when you're in combat, both on land and on air, on the sea, that it actually is recognizable Pirates of the Caribbean IP music. But whatever that was in the usually when you go into the tavern, I like it. And also they actually you can request music apparently, but I'm not gonna do that because it costs 5 gold. But here's the thing: is I think I saw earlier that I have. Oh, I'm lucky I can't run into the ditch there. I know that I was busy looking at the map, and the game should just let me run right off the edge like Crash Bandicoot. Yeah, so it's crazy to me to think how much work I put into that character back in the day. My guy's name, it was because was it Thaddeus Sharkbolt is a name generator name. You get a first name, and then the first half of a last name, and the last half of a last name. And the character I played mainly was Will Chainflint. That's what I named my guy, and I think he essentially just looked like a knockoff Will Turner because, I enjoyed the actual movies, and I didn't, I had my inspiration, and I didn't change much from it. But yeah, on that character, I think I said I really don't remember getting above level 28. I remember that because 28 used to be one of my favorite numbers. I'm not 100% sure why, but I guess that is actually still one of my favorite numbers, but so are 14 and 7. So, but when you double 28 and you get to 56, I don't like that number because I got nothing against the number actually, but I'm just walking through my old reasoning for stuff as a kid, and for whatever reason I could not tell you, I just didn't like the number 6, like that digit. So it was good starting with 7, go to 14, 28, and then it gets ruined at 56. But oh yeah, so I think it's that for this the desk is heavily guarded, and I'm on my way in, and I realize, are these guys glitched out on me? And then you're gonna see as we keep going, and I actually also don't remember it being so long. I realize these guys are just staring at me too, what are you doing? He's definitely not going in here for the same thing all the other players came in here for. But also I remember seeing a picture on the loading screen, I think that broken bridge but I don't remember that broken bridge. In fact, the Thieves' Den actually had always confused me because you saw I went through the graveyard to get here, and that was where it gave me the light from the main Tortuga area. But then when I had to get a different thing done, it had me go through the other side of the Thieves' Den, and honestly, like, that was just much more player friendly. Oh yeah, I'm like, I should probably, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna take out a few of them, even though they're all just watching me. I think it was, I realized that there's a level cap. I remember, I'm comparing it to RuneScape, mining under Falador when I think there's spiders there. No, the giant scorpions there are level 28. I think you would have to be double their level plus one level. So it was like level 28, you double that, 56. That's actually funny. I'm pretty sure it's 28. I think that's just happenstance that I was talking about. At least I don't remember why 28 came up earlier. Oh, that was my level. But yeah, it was like level 28, so you double that at 56. Once you got to level 57, it wouldn't attack you. Well, I think most of these guys, like, just once my notoriety is higher than them, they don't attack me. Although you'll see, I think actually I see like the doll, the pistol, and the cutlass are all level 7 for me, or right around there. So there's not much of a difference, but it's cool to see that the color of the levels showing difficulty guide changes with whatever weapon you have out. So, hey, what's up, fellas? I'm just strolling on in, thinking I'm gonna sign up to be in the Navy. Right? Yep, that's totally legit. Or should I join the EITC? I don't know. I'll let you guys know. And then, yep, this is heavily guarded, alright. It's also one room. I mean, maybe that makes sense for having this fort, but in this den, I mean, I guess I can understand a one room thing, but it's the same thing with the governor's mansion, or the governor's house in Port Royal, where Elizabeth Swan is at. One of one. You see me too every time I come across like a crate I can search or a hole I can dig. I want to interact, but it's always nothing interesting is there. But lo and behold, if you take a quest from somebody and suddenly you're looking for something, that same exact crate you want to look for suddenly has something. So before, nothing was interesting, even if it was like something valuable. Apparently, I don't know. Yeah, see, this is the weaker side with just these guards. And actually, I think I had the quest to kill X amount of guards, or I actually came in from the other side. I'm like, that's not a guard, that's not a guard, that's not a guard. And they're all higher levels than what I feel like a guard should be. And yep, there it's level 7. Actually, I think that's why I turned around, was just to make sure I got to level 7, because the others were at level 7. 7-11, sword and notoriety. Yeah, so one of the things I want to do this kind of video every day because I'm enjoying it, and I realize a lot of what I'm talking about, the actual process and whatnot, isn't exactly what people are looking for, because I know that's not what I'm looking for. I know that I enjoy just making this sort of video, and I think I'd like to keep them at least a half an hour long, or they could be a little bit longer. I will say that towards the end, I was looking at around the time, like I might have been at like 36 minutes, and I was thinking that I wanted to do some ship combat, and so we do finish on like towards the end we get some decent ship combat going. But oh yeah, you see I'm getting lost here when I don't have the compass rotating with me, so I had to switch that. Man, I just wish this game wasn't empty. I feel like, you know, a young kid where just like go to school, or, you know, I guess as an adult, go to work and be like, hey guys, you got to play this new game, Legends of the Pirates Online. And, you know, or kind of like, you know, was it that game? I think there was a short or something on YouTube from the Game Awards where somebody was talking about their game of the year was Toontown Reimagined or Rewritten or something. Basically the same deal, because Disney had dropped it and some other people got that going again. And so they were trying to get people to go. I wonder if there's an uptick in that. I don't know. I wish there were more people playing Legends of the Pirates Online. I guess I understand why they continually add to it and, you know, celebrate. The big thing with MMOs, and I guess because for a lot of people, MMOs end up being like their main game, their only game, but decorating for, you know, the holidays, you know, kind of like that tavern all decked out for it. And the city is very festive. I am sorry. Oh, yeah, I had a really tiring day at work. Not the work itself, just I'm, you know, me and some of my coworkers were yawning a bunch, but oh yeah, now you see that I can get to go find Gordon Greer, and actually I switched to the Visit Elizabeth Swan to get the dagger. That's the 4th weapon available. I think it's at level 10. I think there's 6 total, so I think there's another one at 15 and then at 20. But that's going off of memory. Obviously, it's possible things change. Those snowmen look accurate because they're not made of snow. They're made of sand. Because there's no snow to be found in the Caribbean. At least I think. At least I haven't seen it in this game. Oh. And this is right about the time. So this is where I was like, I really want to do some ship combat. But you're going to see, I think I saw one ship off to the right here. And this, I don't know if it's a glitch or if this is totally intentional. But this just dark circle follows me. I almost wonder if that's like the radius of my compass or something. But yeah, so I'm like, I guess I got safe passage. But I understand why, especially for a Disney game, that they never made it like too intense to go on there, but I don't know. I kind of, I think, would enjoy a little bit more of a challenge, but I mean, I suppose it's there because I'm steering clear of the bigger ships, but yeah, it's just because I'm not ready yet. It feels pretty far out to be putting the anchor down. But yeah, I hope you're doing well. I'm trying to find the nature of this series. Maybe you're just here for the gameplay. But this is me fumbling around, trying to figure out what it is that, how I'm going to go about this, how I'm going to, you know, what to talk about. Because the whole goal with this, I figure, especially if most nights I end up gaming and I cut my game time down by a little bit to just record a block of it and then to narrate over it, I at least want to try this for a while, because like I've loved doing this so far, and I'm not saying it's never going to evolve or improve, but it's just one of those things that you kind of just have to do it. So maybe there's something that you are thinking about that, you know, you want to try something. Maybe you got a dream, whether it is to, you know, make YouTube videos or to go after whatever. You just kind of got to accept that it's not going to be good to begin with. Like, you can't compare your first try to, you know, somebody else's 10,000th, or, you know, or even to where you'll be on 10,000. So, feels a bit late to be all festive on all this, because where are we at? We're towards the end of January already. Feels a little bit out of place. I almost wish, just because I'm like, you know, really nostalgic about all this. See, I was looking, I was like, I thought maybe this path will lead me up to how I thought it did before, and then I realized, nope, that just goes to the area where Tia Dalma was in the beginning. Which is funny because, like, then I think she's just in Cuba after that. Like, I don't know, I think it was just convenient to have her, like, maybe for the sake of the player's time, to have her in Port Royal. Yeah. It's a little less threatening when you realize that people aren't going to attack. So that's a little bit of a bummer. I feel like I remember the steps up into the fort, but again, like, so much on the outside, it's just, I almost wish, kind of like, you know, RuneScape has old school RuneScape and RuneScape 3, you know, your two versions of RuneScape. I almost wish somehow I could see early Pirates of the Caribbean online. But yeah. I really wish Disney still supported this. But I think I saw in the background there. It's a Navy veteran in the background chilling back there. I know that one's a higher level than all these other ones. But Bingham wants us to go get some rum. He didn't say where, or I guess unless he's the one telling us where to get it. We're just taking it from Navy ships, so I mean, imagine that. Like, I don't know. I feel like that wouldn't be a foolproof plan. But yeah, see, nothing in the crate, as I mentioned earlier. And I was half convinced that wasn't going to let me drop through. You know what's actually so about this game engine? Now, I'm not an expert, but I think I heard about this. Because, like, I've watched some YouTube videos of the day and whatnot. But first off, I think this game is actually in the same engine as Sea Dogs, which is a pirate game kind of like this. And it was an older one. And, you know, I can't believe that I never had heard of Sea Dogs before. And so that's something I plan on buying at some point, just to try it out. But there was also Caribbean Legend, which I think is like a spiritual successor to Sea Dogs. I don't know if there's any of the same people on it or whatever. And I know they're actually coming out with another Caribbean Legend. I bought that during the winter sale on Steam. Actually, I ended up getting it from Fanatical because they had a deal for it. But that's one that I want to play too. So I might end up doing that on here sometime, but I'll be completely honest, I don't know what games I'm going to play on here. I was a little apprehensive about going two videos in a row. But this is just what I wanted to play, and that's talk about, gaming intentionally. Playing what you want to play when you want to play it. And, yeah. These few days so far, I've been gaming less, but I've been having so much more fun doing this, so I'm glad. I think next time, what I want to do, because I've actually never checked out what server am I going to join. I think I'm going to try and get one of the busier ones, but also I worry about when it becomes such a small crowd that you're going to, most people are going to be doing like late game stuff or other things. Like, I think the magic in MMOs is when you have people who don't know what they're doing. That is, there are like conversations I vaguely remember from. Well, I didn't have as many in this game, but I remember like even like RuneScape when you had people who said, "Oh, I gotta log out, but my sibling's going to log on, and this is their username, and it's very close to theirs, just like one or two characters different or a different number," and so then I'm like kind of talking to them, one at a time, and I think that's one of the things that really, when it came to trying to do YouTube, everybody needs to be knowledgeable. And I just realized I'm not knowledgeable, but I just feel like I know how to have fun. I feel like I know how to have fun playing games. Even if, right now, I'm my own worst critic. And I will tell you that I'm not happy with how I've been doing this video. But the thing is, this is the kind of content I enjoy making, and so I'm not quitting it. I'm not stopping this. Like, this is going to get published, and it's something that I'm just going to get better at with time. But yeah, that bulwark was a piece of cake. I noticed there was like a flag on the. Oh, that's a Kraken logo over there. I think I've seen notifications for the Kraken. That's not something I remember seeing in this game. But Padres del Fuego over in the Fathers of Fire. Is that what that means? Fuego, not Fuego. Fuego. Yeah. I remember running around in the open area there. I think if I'm not mistaken, after Gordon Greer, the third crew member is over there. Oh, I'm looking at that. I forgot that they got guns on the front corners. That can totally change up my approach to how I take them down. It's actually another thing that, and I don't know if I said this in the last video, but that I didn't remember about this game to begin with was I don't remember leveling up the individual skills, like the whole skill points deal. But it's nice to be able to improve them and actually do more damage. But Vanguard. Oh, looks like it wants to start something. Also, the whole warning of oh, they know we're pirates now, so everybody's gonna be coming. Like, it's almost like, I think everybody's gonna aggro you or know that you're a pirate. And I've seen some ships fly around with just a pirate flag over its name, and I wonder if that's like player ships in combat, or because I've also seen something about Queen Anne's Revenge, which I don't think that'd have to be haunted or anything. So I don't know. I wonder if most of these or all of these were in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. So I think one of the things I appreciate about being able to play this game is that you don't... What am I trying to say? Well, in most other ship combat kind of games like this, whether in the Caribbean or whatever, it's always like you get, a very high level view of the Caribbean, and this, like you can actually see stuff in the distance in like a 3D world, which is pretty nice. Oh, you can hear me click. That's so funny because I'm thinking that I'm probably gonna hear that. And last time, because I had more more dialogue, I actually had to mute the video as I was watching, but you can hear me trying to click and be like fire, 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 and it just wouldn't quite do that. But gonna take down this Navy Panther, and then I think we need one more bulwark. Of course, we gotta make sure that I don't, because actually so far I've been sunk once. I think off stream I got sunk once, and I got knocked out once or twice. Barely destroyed that one. Oh. So these mini games are actually a lot of fun. There's the one in particular that I'm like, you know, I could keep playing this. And actually earlier I was playing, before I thought I was gonna make a video, I was playing, there's one where you get to brew potions, which is actually cool to see that they got these other levels outside of combat, like in mini games. And it's like you choose the potions you want to do it, and you need, like, the ingredients are based on matching the same color together, but you gotta, like, and then they level up, and matching 3 of those to level those up, and it's just, it was actually a little bit addicting. Like, I was racing the clock, trying to get just as much of them done as I could, because I had a lot of fun with this. So who knew mini games would be a hit with that? But at the same time, I think, you know, mini games I feel like are easy to do right. I mean, I grew up playing on candystand.com, and that was essentially just a site of mini games. And then also, I mean, mini games not done right. Well, it wasn't the mini games, but I can't help but mention, was it AEW Fight Forever? It was a wrestling game that they wanted to add mini games into, and most people are like, what? Why would you do that? And that's fair, because there was a lot of just the basic gameplay loop that seemed to be left behind, like just forgotten about, and it was disappointing, understandably so. But if the actual gameplay loop of the wrestling, what a wrestling game is about, was fun, I was like, you know, I think the board game concept is just one of those things that works. With like mini games, I'm thinking like Mario Party and whatnot, but yeah, I don't know how long this is gonna go, because I'm enjoying this game, so I'm gonna play it for as long as I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I tried to start something with the Vanguard here, and I think because I'm already hurt a little bit, but I'm like, let me do a little bit, and then you just see red chunks being taken out. And I know last time, once I was completely destroyed for me, I was actually very vulnerable, and I got sunk quick. That was actually offline, or off stream. What? You could tell can you tell I used to stream? No, off when I wasn't recording. I think I even referred to it as streaming earlier today, or earlier in this video. But no. So right now they're literally 2xing your gold, which is pretty nice. But at the same time, like, I feel like they're much more generous with gold, because I remember pinching pennies, you know, figuratively speaking, when I was playing originally to begin with. I remember the tonics cost a lot of money. You're only able to have 3 of them on you, and I like saved everything, which also, all this you know, these like winter pouches, or like the loot dropping and you gotta search, that throws me off, because most of the time, like, whatever dropped before, it used to just go into your inventory, and you'd see a little pop-up if it was a collectible. Which also, I haven't seen all the collectibles yet, but the one I remember was, and that actually kind of like taught me, because I didn't know about it, was, what do you call it? It was called the, I don't know, it was somebody's teeth. I'm pretty sure that there was collectibles, and they, like, gave the actual name to every single tooth. And I remember finding those, being kind of grossed out, but yeah. But playing this game, I don't know how long I'm gonna go for. Like, as long as I'm enjoying it, I'll do it. But I've talked about reading a pirate book, writing pirate books, and other pirate games I can play. The thing about this is, like, this is designed to be played cooperatively or multiplayer, and I mean, it's a little empty and it's just kind of sad, like I didn't get the third skill here because that's to heal another player, and I'm like, I don't even know if I'm ever going to use that. I hope to, but yeah, I figured at the end of this, I would treat you guys to some combat where I actually take somebody who's much higher level than me, but then again, I'm kiting with Voodoo before switching, bun the old razzle dazzle on them at the end. And just like that, it is done. So, in my head when I was going out here, I was like, y'all remember this is the day that you almost caught Thaddeus Sharkbolt. But, yeah, this was fun. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're having a great day. And if you like gaming narration videos that I hopefully get better at, please subscribe.